This is TBC Weekly Recap. Coming up, President Buhari appoints ex-IGP Smith as PSC chairman. Bauchi Deputy Governor Nuhu Gidado resigns. House of Reps seeks action against South Africa's xenophobic attacks on Nigerians. 33 persons killed in Delta State following oil spillage. Former President of Ghana John Dramani Mahama declares his intentions for the 2020 polls. Zimbabwe Parliament sets new date for Mugabe hearing. Malaysia's embattled former Prime Minister questioned by anti-corruption agency. A Nigerian entertainment lawyer files lawsuit against R. Kelly for sexual battery, false imprisonment, and transmitting sexual disease. Details of all this and many more coming up. President Muhammadu Buhari has appointed former Inspector General of Police Musiliu Smith as chairman of the Police Service Commission. Smith is to succeed former IGP Mike Okiro. Buhari also appointed 5 others as members of the Police Service Commission. President of the Senate Bukola Saraki read Buhari's letter seeking legislative confirmation of the appointment as well as members of the commission. Former President Olusegun Obasanjo has said he is ready for probe over the $16 billion power project. He made this known in a statement by his media aide Kehinde Akinyemi while reacting to President Muhammadu Buhari's remarks on Tuesday over the failed $16 billion power project. The Deputy Governor of Bauchi State, Nuhu Gidado, has resigned. His resignation was announced late Wednesday in a letter he personally signed, saying he has lost interest in the position. Gidado thanked Governor Muhammadu Abubakar and the people of Bauchi State for giving him the opportunity to serve. The House of Representatives on Wednesday called on the federal government to institute stiffer measures against South Africa over the endless xenophobic attacks on Nigerians in that country. This followed a motion entitled Urgent Call for Concerted Diplomatic Action to Stop the Recurring Killings of Nigerians in South Africa. No fewer than 33 persons have been feared killed in 50 communities in Delta State following oil spillage in these areas. Report says the devastating oil spillage, apart from the havoc it wreaked on the people's sources of drinking water, their farmlands, and the killing of their fishes, worried residents in the affected areas have fled their homes for fear of more trouble. The spillage occurred on the 24-inch Trans-Roma crude oil pipelines owned by Shell Petroleum Development Company in Burutu local government area of Delta State. A cholera outbreak has killed 12 people and many have infected at least 134 others in the northeast Nigerian state of Adamawa, a medical official said on Wednesday. According to Israel Sakawa, a medical doctor from Mubi General Hospital in the town, so far 12 people have died from the disease and there are many more cases, stating that they have little manpower to deal with an outbreak of such magnitude, adding that nurses were on strike. Former President of Ghana John Dramani Mahama declares his intention for the 2020 polls. Former President John Dramani Mahama has finally declared his readiness to contest in the 2020 presidential election if he survives the flag bearer in the National Democratic Congress (NDC). Ghana FA President Kwesi Nyantakyi charged with defrauding by false pretense. The Police Criminal Investigations Department (CID) has formally charged embattled president of the Ghana Football Association (GFA), Kwesi Nyantakyi, with defrauding by false pretense. These followed allegations that he used the names of President Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo and President Dr. Mahamudu Bawumia money from some investors. Kwesi Nyantakyi was picked up Wednesday from the international airport, clothed officers on arrival from Morocco, and straight to the CID headquarters, where he was interrogated for about 5 hours. Zimbabwe Parliament sets new date for Mugabe hearing. Zimbabwe's parliament said on Monday that President Robert Mugabe was scheduled to answer questions this week related to mining operations during his tenure, but an official said senior ruling party politicians opposed this. Mugabe was originally scheduled to appear before the Mines Committee on May 9, which would have been his first appearance since he was ousted in November, but the invitation letter had no comment. Parliament wants the 94-year-old to give evidence over his 2016 declarations that the state had been deprived by mining companies of at least $15 billion in diamond revenue. Malaysia's embattled former Prime Minister questioned by anti-corruption agency. Embattled former Prime Minister Najib Razak arrived at the headquarters of Malaysia's Anti-Corruption Commission on Tuesday, which had ordered him to explain a suspicious transfer of $10.6 million into his bank account. The sum is just a fraction of billions of dollars allegedly siphoned from state funds, one TB, a scandal that dogged the last 3 years of Najib's near-decade-long ruling and was one of the main reasons why voters dumped him in an election on May 9. Iranian officials split over response to U.S. demands. On Monday, U.S. Secretary of State Mike Pompeo presented a list of sweeping demands for Iran, including abandoning nuclear enrichment, ballistics missile program, and its role in Syria, Lebanon, and Yemen, or face the strongest sanctions in history. Four senior Iranian officials contacted by Reuters interpret Pompeo's remark as a bargaining strategy similar to Washington's approach to North Korea. Last year, officials were pressing for tougher sanctions against Pyongyang and sent an aircraft to the region in a show of strength before relations ease to a point where President Donald Trump may hold talks with North Korea leader Kim Jong-un. A Nigerian entertainment lawyer, Lydia Agosi Hills, has filed a new lawsuit against singer R. Kelly, alleging sexual battery, false imprisonment, and failure to disclose a sexually transmitted disease. The lawsuit was filed Monday in a Manhattan court on behalf of a woman who says she was 19 when she began a relationship with R. Kelly. And finally, Harry and Meghan thank royal wedding guests. Newlyweds, the Duke and Duchess of Sussex, Prince Harry and Meghan thanked everyone who took part in the celebrations of their wedding on Saturday. Some 100,000 people came for the ceremony in Windsor, west of London, and it was watched live globally, including by 29 million people in the US alone. Now that's all we have for you on TBC Weekly Recap as read by Kelvin F&K.